I'm getting pretty close to saying some dangerously, recklessly, drunkenly optimistic things about next year's Pelicans. And Trey Murphy III is a big part of that. Do you need to talk me off this ledge, or have you already joined me out on it?
Dan, I have harnessed up and I am ready to untie the ropes from the carabiner and just jump off the gorge. Like this is a really good team in the Western Conference. And like Zion, Ingram, and McCollum, I always talk about your big three, your three pillars for a team. That's a really good offensive trio to have. They've got a ton of really good role players, whether it's the big guys that they can plug and play based on different lineups and opponents. Herb Jones, Jose Alvarado, Trey Murphy, like the list goes on and on about guys that just fit in around the core. I do have two concerns. One is the health of Zion and his integration process back into the lineup. The second is, what do they do with the five? I still don't see the clear answer for New Orleans in late game situations or in a playoff series. Do they go with Valanciunas there? And now like he and Zion's kind of a funky spacing duo. Do you go with Jackson Hayes and have more of that, rim rolling guy? Like, I don't know if I see that either. Is Zion going to be somebody that plays the five? Do you trust Herb Jones in that role? Is Larry Nance, like if he's playing the five,
I think that's my pick, is Zion Nance to close games.
It's probably my pick too in terms of fit, but it's like, are you really going to play Larry Nance and then leave Herb Jones and Jonas Valanciunas on the bench, like talent wise? Like I don't think that there's a very clear cut answer for what they should do. And that's the one area for me as I'm looking forward. Like, obviously I want to see if Zion's healthy and is the same old Zion. Everybody's always wondering the same thing there. But I think that they need a little bit more definable of a presence up front, just in terms of the hierarchy, not in terms of like, I don't think Jonas is good. I do think he's good. I just struggle to see the fit with him and Zion based on the spacing that Zion needs.
Yeah, Pelicans fans who listen to this podcast have been adamant that he's a better fit, Jonas Valanciunas, next to Zion than Miles Turner would be. That's something I still disagree with, but Valanciunas was really good last year. And I think for the time being, it's more workable, I feel like, where if you went, like, why can't Herb Jones play with Zion and Larry Nance Jr., and then you go point guardless with CJ and Brandon Ingram because you have so many creators there? I think long term, like, depending on how you feel about Jose Alvarado, Trey Murphy III, and then, yes, you are. I mean, Valanciunas is he's not even making Mitchell Robinson money right now, actually. So, like, you can justify not playing him because those decisions probably get tough, and I'm sure they're matchup dependent. But I want to see Trey Murphy III on the floor all the time, and it's hard to do that right now, like in a closing unit. And I'm just, the way he closed the season and knowing that Zion was going to be healthy, how CJ McCollum and Brandon Ingram were eventually integrated, just knowing what Herb Jones did, having Jose Alvarado, Devontae Graham can probably only get better. This team, I think one of my preseason predictions is that if Zion plays in 60 plus games, the Pelicans are going to be a 4 seed. And that's going to sound outlandish to people knowing that the Clippers, the Nuggets, the Warriors, the Suns all exist. I don't know, man. This team, they really put it together after their terrible start. Kudos to Willie Green for the way he was able to coach them up on defense, especially in transition. I'm all in on the Pelicans. And that's like not really spicy because Zion Williamson is transcendent when he's healthy. But given where they were at the start of last season, to make that progression to where I think that they're closer to contention than the 8 seed, let's say, that's a hell of a jump, even if it's just like conceptual at this point to make.
Do you smell that, Dan? It smells like a consolidation trade with some of their younger role players eventually. I don't know.
I want Kevin Durant in New Orleans. I would love it even more if you could do it if the Nets just wanted picks and you could keep Brandon Ingram since you have the salary matching tools to do it. I just don't know what is the type. Let's throw Kevin Durant out the window here. What is the archetype of player you'd be looking for in a consolidation trade, though? That's what's interesting about this team, is because they're almost at and I'm higher on their outlook than I was the Hawks, but it's a little Hawksian where it's like, well, they kind of have all these guys like at all these different positions. It's like, what are you consolidating into?
Yep. Yeah. And I don't have the direct answer for that. Like, there's only one of them in the world, but like an elite stretch 5, like Karl Anthony Towns. Obviously, Minnesota's not going to do that deal, but yeah, maybe that's just what upgrades this roster a little bit more. I don't know. But I look at all those pieces and I say, like, that's a sneaky team that could get involved with another star if something happened. Like, if I don't know.
I have a name.
Something,
I just don't want to say it because I love the fan base and how passionate they are. And if any of them are listening, they're going to tell me to fuck off. But Pascal Siakam on the
that's exactly what I was going to say too. Yeah.
So they're going to say, stop voyeuring. This is voyeurism. Let us keep Pascal Siakam. I love Siakam.